Alright, so by the age of 16, I had made my first $10,000. By 17, well over $100,000. By 19, I clocked in my first $1 million. And today, at 21, I've made well over $3 million in total. And currently, I'm sitting at north of $250,000 per month. But I'm steadily approaching that $500,000 a month mark within the next 3 to 4 months, which would make my annual income $6 million. So I think it's pretty safe to say that somewhere between 25 years of age, I will have made between $30 to $50 million. Look, making your first $100,000 in your teens is definitely not an easy accomplishment, but myself and many others have proven that it's possible. If you are new here in the channel, welcome. My name is Sander Stage. I'm a 21-year-old millionaire, online business owner, and entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. I know it sounds like I'm bragging, and perhaps I am, but I think it's relevant information since we're here to make money. Now, before we get into the video, I'm going to send $500 to the person that leaves the best comment down below. I want you to comment how old you are and how much you want to be making per month 6 months from now, and how that would change your life. So go ahead, like the video and comment that right now. While you pause the video, we'll select the best comment and send out $500 to you. Also, make sure you tag your Instagram in the comments so we can reach out to you there if you win. Now, look, if you had a job at something like Target in the US, it would take you 3.5 years to make $100,000 if you were working there full time. So technically, if you started when you had just turned 16, you could have made your first $100,000 by the time you're 19.5 from working a full-time job at something like Target or Walmart. But I think we can agree that that's not really the nice route to take, because you'd have to live with your parents. They'd have to pay for pretty much everything in your life if you were to save any money up, and you'd be wasting all your time working a full-time job at a really boring institution and essentially just wasting 3.5 years or 3.5 years of your prime teen years. Now, there's nothing wrong with working hard in your teens to make money, but ideally, if you're spending 3.5 years from 16 to 19.5 working hard every day, it should be working on something that will give you rewards for the rest of your life. The thing is, if you quit your job after 3.5 years at 19.5 years of age, you have nothing. You just have what they paid you for those years. You've built up nothing that will pay you or accumulate for the rest of your life. And so again, nothing wrong with dedicating 80% of your time to work in your teens, but you should be working on a business that will grow and continue to grow so you can reap the rewards of that for the rest of your life. And not only that, by the time you had worked there for 2-3 years, you would have programmed your mindset into a slave mindset, and it's so hard to break out of that matrix mindset once you've been working a boring full-time job for that long and once you've become dependent on those month-to-month paychecks. So if you ask me, that's probably not the ideal route to take. That's not the right solution for you, because since you're watching this video, chances are that you have an entrepreneur somewhere down here or in your heart, and you need to carry out that desire of building your own business and creating your own freedom so you can live life on your terms. Now, of course, when it comes to business, we can go the traditional route of starting a physical business like a clothing store or maybe even a clothing brand. But the thing is, usually with those traditional business models, you'll need quite a lot of capital to start them up, and they're actually quite difficult to scale. And that's why online business models are so attractive for us young entrepreneurs today, because they don't require a lot of startup capital, and we can actually scale them to be a global brand pretty quickly. And so making anywhere between $100,000 to $250,000 per month with an online business is really realistic, because again, the whole world is your market. Now let's talk about some of the popular online business models that are out there, and I'll give you my recommendation on what I would start if I was currently in your shoes. So to start out, we have the famous and popular business model of Amazon FBA. Now, the reason I don't like Amazon FBA is because you'll need quite a lot of capital to start it up. I'd say a minimum of $5,000 to $10,000 to buy your initial inventory. There's no guarantee that you're actually going to sell out of that inventory, so you're taking a huge risk by buying that product and stocking up on it, and so you could potentially lose your entire investment. And not only that, but the thing I really don't like about Amazon FBA is you're literally dependent on one platform for your income. Your entire business model has the name of another business in it. So if you ask me, that makes you more of an employee than an actual entrepreneur. Imagine you're doing well with it, and then one day you wake up and they've changed the terms of use or the requirements to be an Amazon FBA seller, and all of a sudden you're standing with nothing. Of course, that's not very likely, but I still don't like the fact of being dependent on one platform for your business or your income. Then we have another really popular and probably the most famous out of the online business models, and that's going to be Shopify dropshipping. Now, I tried dropshipping back in the days when I was 16, 17, and I actually made some decent money with dropshipping. It came to a point where I was making $300 to $500 per day revenue, that is. So profit-wise, more like $100 to $200 per day profit. But I just got so tired of the business model because I was selling low-quality products to customers all over the world with 3-week shipping durations. And so finally, I just wasn't creating any value. Actually, I felt like I was creating destruction because, again, low-quality products, long shipping durations, not very happy customers. Yeah, I was making a little bit of profit, but was it worth it? Not really. On top of that, you also do need quite a lot of startup capital to start in dropshipping. Of course, you don't need $100,000 or $1 million like you would need if you're starting a physical store, but you do need quite a few $1,000s to start up in dropshipping. And there's a very high risk that you're going to lose everything you invest into it by trying to advertise the wrong products or by just not doing the right type of advertising. And so once again, if you ask me, Shopify dropshipping is definitely not it. Now, another online business you could go into is the info product business. I, for example, have an info product business alongside with my social media marketing agency where I'm teaching people how to do social media marketing. And on a monthly basis, my info product business is bringing in quite a lot of revenue, but not that much profit just because of the sheer amount of expenses I have connected to the info product business. You'd be surprised to find out how many employees and team members are in the back end and how much money I'm spending on product development. At the end of the day, yeah, you can make quite a lot of revenue with an info product business, but there's a lot of bricks and pieces to move around and it's quite capital expensive. And out of all the online business models that we talk about, the info product business is definitely the most difficult to carry out because you need a very high skill set in something, and the actual production of it is extremely difficult and takes years to perfect. So if you're just starting out right here and you're currently making close to nothing and you want to get started in online business, then the ideal online business model that you need is something that's going to generate you cash flow with a really high profit margin and a quite low barrier to entry. And that's why I just keep recommending you guys to start a social media marketing agency, because honestly, you just need 5 paying clients that are paying you roughly $2K a month each to make $10K per month, and out of that you have like a 98% profit margin because you have virtually zero expenses. So with 5 clients of $2K each, you're pocketing like $9,800 per month, and I've seen hundreds of people get to that 10, even 15K a month mark within 1 to 2 months of starting their agency. And so that's why, sure, the other online business models that I've talked about, they're viable, they all work to a certain degree, but when I've looked at the online business space as a whole, and when I've looked at all the different people in there and what people are trying, when it comes to social media marketing agencies, it's where people are succeeding the fastest, and it's where people are making the most profit that they can take home at the end of the day. It's pretty simple. You build an agency, you build a foundation of it, you get a website up, then you start looking for clients, you reach out to those clients, you take meetings with the clients, you close the clients, you start delivering the service to the clients, hopefully you deliver good results to them, and from those results you can create a case study that you can then leverage to sign more clients, and within a couple months you can have 5 to 15 clients and be making anywhere between $10,000 to $30,000 per month. And yes, if I should mention one caveat with the social media marketing agency business model, it is that the first client is definitely the hardest to get, and I have seen people not get their first client for 1, 2, even 3 months. But as soon as they get that first client, the snowball just starts rolling and the exponential growth effect gets faster and faster, because once you have one case study you can leverage, it gets so much easier to sign more clients from there. And so once again, feel free to try your luck with any of the online business models I've mentioned. Heck, feel free to try your luck with opening a physical store if you have the money for it. But if you don't have money and you want to get to that 10K per month profit mark as quickly as possible, there is no better business model to step into than the SMA or social media marketing agency business model. And yeah, it's the same business model that allowed me to cross that 100K mark when I was just 17. So once again, guys, I'm setting $500 to the best comment. Comment down below your current age and how much you want to be making in 6 months from now per month, and we'll pick out the best one and send $500 over. Don't forget to drop your Instagram in the comments so we can actually DM you on there if you win. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.